Good Tuesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center on behalf of Weigel's Fuel and Food that's fast, fresh, and friendly. Here's your East Tennessee Weigel's and weather update. We'll start with Weigel's because they got this brownie batter milk that's only around for a short period of time. I got word from their Facebook page that this might be going out pretty soon, so you might want to pick up a bottle or two before it disappears. They got to make room for something new, and you never know because there may be a new flavor around the corner. But the all-new brownie batter milk is delicious. If you love chocolate milk, this is like a new variation of chocolate milk. It's double chocolatey, triple chocolatey. I love it. It's all new, and it's at Weigel's. It's just better when it's fresh, farm to store in 24. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. Very few people would argue with that when you live in East Tennessee, but I love it because it's just all new brownie batter milk. Check it out. Of course, there's always going to be a new flavor around the corner, but we hope that you'll grab the Weigel's brownie batter milk before it disappears. Let me show you what's going on as far as the weather. Visibility has been dropped across many areas this morning, down to a mile or less. I see a 0 covered over Jacksboro, Campbell County. I'm sure it's very dense. 0 around Jonesville, and some areas in white might be where it's really pronounced. So please be extra careful. Low beams will be a help. But the story this morning, no doubt, is the fog as we head out the door. The rain seems to have disappeared, at least for now, but there will be more showers and storms opportunities later today. Some of them could be on the stronger side of the ledger. Wind speeds that aren't moving all that much, 5 miles an hour, where you see some 0, we've got calm winds. Temperature very humid, 69 degrees current temperature, 70 in Morristown, and we got 70 degrees in Athens. If you're on the call, just want to say good morning to you. Steve Stone is quick on the draw. He has a little note to note with some sunshine and a happy face. Glad to see Steve here. Glad to have you all here as you watch live or on delay. But one of the things you'll note, the big story is what's going to be Helene. Now, this storm hasn't even been classified as a named storm. It is still potential tropical cyclone, number 9. But this will get the name Helene likely today or tomorrow. And either way, it's going to have an impact on East Tennessee. So if you like rain, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you pray for. There's an expression, your cup overfloweth. That's going to be the big story this week. Flooding. I'm going to get into all that. Flooding to the point where you're like, no way. Yes way. And yes, it could be so much that we say, enough's enough. We're under a drought. So you know what I mean? It's like you go from one pendulum to the other. The swinging of the pendulum, it doesn't stop in the middle. Just like when you go to the beach, the ocean, it's either low tide or high tide. Can you not make up your mind? Ocean doesn't do that. It's not how Mother Nature works. But with that dew point of 70 in Morristown, 68 dew point in Knoxville, it is stuffy. It is sticky, and that will be the case for the remainder of the day. As we look at the radar, I don't want to delay any further. I said it's dry. Yeah, it's dry. It doesn't show much. But we had some showers yesterday. In fact, we picked up, are you ready for this? We picked up 0.43. We almost picked up a half-inch of rain yesterday, bringing us up to 1.25 inches for the month. So that's kind of interesting. Our high yesterday was 91 degrees. 91 degrees. It was the 4th day that we hit 90 this month. We'll talk about that too. But we started the morning off at 69. Normal high and low is 80 and 58. So if we hit an 80-degree day today, that would be normal. But we're going to be closer to 90. I have us at 89. But if we hit 90 or 91, it wouldn't surprise me. It's just one of those situations where until the rain reappears, and it's trying to form around Nashville, it's already moving through areas around Bowling Green. We'll be watching that front begin to approach, and it's going to produce some pop-up showers and storms. But as I mentioned, we've had 4 days. How do you know? Because I can see it. I can see it from my extended almanac. We hit 91 on Friday, 92 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday. You mean we've had a heat wave? We have. Another heat wave in mid-September. Because when you get 3 consecutive 90-degree days in a row, we classify that as a heat wave in this part of the country, in this part of the world. But it's interesting because we could make it day number 5 if we squeeze out a 90 or 91 today. I have us at 89, but it wouldn't surprise me if some of us, if McGee Tyson holds off on the rain, we have the potential to get back into the lower 90s today. So just wanted to give you some perspective. But we've had some upper 70s. Go back to the 7th and 8th of this month. It was delightful. That's like, the pendulum swings. By the way, the ultimate Doppler radar, a little bit of a ground clutter, but the ultimate Doppler radar not showing any rain at this time. The ultimate Doppler radar showing, again, most of the weather you can see back to the west. A couple of showers moved in overnight, moved in across the area, and that's pretty much now working its way out of the picture. But one of the interesting things you'll see as we take a look and show you the radar, because I want to show you what's going on here. This is the shower activity we've been seeing across Bowling Green and Nashville. right? Most of the wet weather you see across the middle section of the country is going to slide across maybe the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley this morning and early afternoon, but some of that energy wants to come here in the coming hours. So we'll look for more afternoon showers and storms in East Tennessee. But what's happening across the area is you can see some showers across the Ohio Valley. And most of that is moving across maybe western Kentucky at this time. So if you're keeping score, we are still below average for the month. 3.4849 inches of rain is typical for the month of September. But when you throw in an approaching cold front, that's really on Wednesday especially, and then you throw in more rain on Thursday as the system known soon to be Helene starts to move northward, it's a collision. It collides, it also converges on East Tennessee. So we're talking about more than 3, more than 4, possibly 6 to 8 inches of rain in our region. And you say, I need evidence. Show me evidence that that could be what we see. Let me show you what's first developing in the Gulf. We've got a storm that's going to be named Helene soon as she's taking shape at this time. You can see some yellow there. That represents tropical storm force winds. And it looks like it's headed toward the Big Bend area of Florida. That would be not far from Destin, not far from Panama City and Tallahassee, and maybe just to the west of Tampa. But this is where this storm likely is developing. And it shows the latest update from the Hurricane Center as a Category 1 storm as early as tomorrow. That would put it at 12 noon on Wednesday. So midday tomorrow, they're already talking about a Category 1 hurricane. And it's not even a storm quite yet, because it's still, what is it? It's still a tropical depression. It's a big D right now, but will be likely a tropical storm certainly by midday today, and likely a Category 1 by midday on Wednesday. So keep track of where this is going, because this will have a big implication as to how much rain we have. Major hurricane likely to hit somewhere between Tampa and Tallahassee. Tampa in that area right across northern Florida, and a major hurricane, that with winds around 115. That's what's estimated here on this particular screen. I want to check in with some more comments. I know there's a lot coming in here, and I've got to cover the rainfall amount. I'm not going to ignore that. Good morning, says Karen Robbins. She says preparing for some real rain. 67 degrees here in Fairfield Glade. Thank you for that update. And our friend Fred says, good morning. It's 69 degrees and humid in Maryville. He's grabbing some Weigel's coffee. He says Weigel's coffee rocks. I agree. Weigel's coffee does rock, and it is delicious. And Wanda Poe says Weigel, she says, points out that there needs to be some pumpkin spice milk. Well, maybe you could put that in the suggestion suggestion jar, so to speak. But I love it. Well, thank you, Wanda, for sharing in your updates as well. And by the way, if you haven't picked up the brownie batter milk, that is available now for just a limited time. Our friends at Weigel's do it just better when it's fresh, farm to store in 24. They've been doing this since 1931. Going back to over 90 years, it's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. The all-new brownie batter milk, it is delicious. It's not just chocolatey or double chocolatey. In my view, it's triple chocolatey. You got to pick up the all-new brownie batter milk. It's delicious. I'm a big fan. Now, as we talk about this hurricane, or soon to be, it's not even a storm yet. I know. You're going to have to work with me. If they like to use this potential tropical cyclone 9 nomenclature or PTC number 9, so be it. But until it gets the name Helene, will the mainstream media run with it? Maybe they're running with it now, because there should be high alerts for our friends in Florida that they get hit by a major hurricane. But we're not exempt, not in East Tennessee. Need evidence this has 70-mile-an-hour winds when it's south of Macon. Are you talking about it's like almost a hurricane rolling just south of Macon? And guess where it goes? Right toward Knoxville. We're right in the crosshairs. So if it moves up toward south of Indianapolis by Saturday morning, it's got winds down to 15, and then it's 70 south of Macon, well south of Atlanta. I mean, what do you think? I think we're probably in that 45 to 50. We could see a decaying tropical storm, Helene, move across the area. Winds will be worse for us Thursday and Friday. But the rains start late tonight. It's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You've got a cold front coming through. It's converging. You're not going to be able to make sense of, is this rain from Helene or is this rain from the cold front? It's all meshed together. It's all one big product, and that's the problem, because it's going to be really a big problem for us. But look at the winds from 70 to 15. I could assume we're going to be in that 45 to 50 mile an hour gusts of wind. And with all that water falling on dry ground because we're under a drought, a lot of the runoff is going to be a big problem. Here's another look at this storm. Futurecast shows this storm rolling right through parts of northern Florida, and then it kind of wants to move up towards us. I kind of moved up my screen there, but it will be moving into our neck of the woods. Let me show you what this looks like. as far as the amount of rain, because I think that's probably the most important part. And here it is. This shows you by the end of today, we have the potential for maybe 15 or 14 hundredths of an inch in the Oak Ridge, Knoxville area. But watch what happens when we move into tomorrow morning. Early tomorrow morning, late tonight, we could have picked up over 1 inch to 2 between Oak Ridge and Knoxville and Kingston. Then we go into Wednesday. This is all driven by the cold front, mind you. This isn't even Helene yet. And you could have 3 or 4 inches in Oak Ridge, Kingston, La Follette, based on this guidance. And you say, well, I thought Helene's still in the Gulf. She is. She will be by 5 o'clock tomorrow, because she'll have just been named a Category 1 hurricane, perhaps by midday tomorrow. But this rain that's coming in from the west, I've had an 80% chance of rain on Wednesday, because I was fearful that this was going to converge. And look at this. I said 3 to 8. You go, come on. There's 5 o'clock. Now we're talking about rains of Helene rolling in now. And now it starts to roll in. So when you see purple, I mean, your head might explode. This is yikes. Yeah, the ouch. Even if this is half right, given the fact that we averaged 3.49, 3.49 for the month, you're talking about multiple months in a period of days, in a period of hours in some cases. So this is kind of like a concerning situation that has to be monitored. And if you're not ready for this, as I say, your cup may overfloweth. Your cup may actually see that this just has no place to go. Other than the sewer drain, it's a big swamp. Flooded basements may be an issue. So I don't have a basement. Flooded backyards. You're going to have some issues. All of us will if you're in the purple area here in East Tennessee. If this verifies. And again, the track pushes this in our way. And because the front's coming in and Helene's trying to say, watch out, here I come, it's all going to converge. And it's going to be hard to make sense between when is the rain I'm getting associated from the front tomorrow, and when's it going to be associated with Helene, which will be Thursday and into Friday morning especially. I think Friday afternoon things will improve, but you can see some of these amounts through Monday take us closer into 10 inches of rain. It's just insane if this comes to pass. And you can see we're not the only ones in this path, the purple area. We didn't get Debbie. Remember, they got 6 months worth of rain, 12 inches in some parts of the Carolinas from this tropical hurricane season. We were exempt, and that's why we're under a drought. But sometimes Mother Nature has a way of making up for lost time, and we're going to be getting not only our fair share of rain, but we're going to get an abundance of it, maybe too much too fast. It is 6:52. My goal is to be done at the top of the hour. I know that's a lot of information to digest on a Tuesday morning, but I had to mention it because it is headed our way. Sun is up at 7:26 this morning, and I do suspect it'll be down at 7:29. Look, think about that. Sun's down before 7:30 now. It was like a big deal when it was down before 8:30. But now here we are on the 24th of September, and we've got it sundown at 7:29. Today I'm expecting a high of 89. If some of us hit 90, wouldn't surprise me. In fact, I put 90 for our friends in Newport, Cosby, Parrotsville, Del Rio, 90 in Maryville, Alcoa, and 90 for Athens, Tellico Plains. About 84 for Crossville and 83 in Oneida. Curious to know what you think or have some thoughts. I got a good morning from Mary Flannery. She says, good morning. In fact, her other note, she said, have a nice day. Glad to have Mary here. Crystal says it's sticky outside. I think she's right. Very sticky, Crystal. Thank you for your note. Love to see the smiling faces. And Marilyn Bell with some context here. She says, good morning. My husband is preparing an evacuation schedule of the equipment on his Pensacola job. Well, keep him safe. Prayers for him. And thank you all for being on here as well, because I know that a lot of us are going to be affected, not just here, but all the way down toward the Gulf of Mexico. So our high temperatures today, 40% chance of rain today. Sunrise will be again just a few minutes from now at 7:26, and then goes down at 7:29. Bus stop should be around 75 at 10, picking up the kiddos. Between 2 and 3:30, about 88 degrees. I think we're finishing about 89, but most of us should be, I would say, about a 40% chance of showers and storms. Most of the rain will increase late tonight, and we'll be off to the races. This is a multiple day event. We're talking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, do about Friday morning. By Friday morning, this low should be north into Kentucky, and so the rain will subside, but the damage will be done. It doesn't take long when tropical rains come into town. There is one particular patch that the Hurricane Center is watching, future patch, because since they've already classified PTC number 9, that will soon be given the name Helene, this one might actually be Isaac. There's one storm out in the middle of the Atlantic they'll be watching in the days and weeks to come. 80% chance, pretty favorable. So we have Helene on deck. Isaac would soon follow, and then it would be Joyce, Kirk, and Leslie if we get that far in the month of October. Temperature right now, 69 degrees, Knoxville, 72 in Chattanooga, 68 in Johnson City. It is sticky. I can see that from the dew point numbers in the upper 60s. So it feels more humid and more stuffy compared to where it did maybe just a few days or even weeks ago. Storms develop today, heavy rain on Wednesday, and then we're watching Helene Thursday and Friday. And again, so we got rain coming in on Wednesday. So, well, people are going to think, is this Helene? This is associated with the cold front. So it's coming in, it's going to converge, and you won't be able to be like seamless. But the winds will kick in Thursday, Friday. Does that make any sense? It's going to be like we're going to be hit hard with the winds, probably 45 to 50 plus, maybe even higher, certainly higher for the Smokies as we head into the latter part of the week. 69 our current temperature, north wind at 3. Relative humidity 96%. We covered the fog at the top of this live stream. 89 is where I expect to be. But again, if we flirt with 90 or 91, that would be day number 5. Day number 5 in a row with this heat wave. I have a 40% chance of showers and storms. Most of them reappear this afternoon. A normal high is 80. And with 80% chance tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, we're going to be put to the test. Many of us, as I showed you in those purple areas, could find more than 3, 6 to maybe 8 inches of rain just in the next couple of days. And you might say, where on earth am I going to put that? It's just going to go down the sewer drain or get stuck, sadly, in your backyard or basement if that's what you have. I want to show you the Storm Prediction Center colors because they have some concerns for us in severe weather land, isolated as it may be today. There's one little patch, it looks like back toward Oklahoma, so we'll start from left to right, that covers Oklahoma City and Wichita Falls. But the big area in the Ohio Valley, in Kentucky, West Virginia, Lexington, scattered severe storms, a possibility for some of us in our viewing area. Most of Tennessee is colored with isolated severe storms, but if you're in Monticello, you might have some scattered severe storms. That would be mainly late morning for you into the afternoon, all the way up toward Lexington, Kentucky. No severe weather expected tomorrow. At least that's the early map that the Storm Prediction Center's put. They'll probably revisit that tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. But certainly Wednesday has the potential for rain, I think quite a bit of it. And then we've got some isolated severe storms potentially with Helene approaching areas around Gainesville, Jacksonville, and maybe towards Savannah. But for us, it's just super soggy going into the next couple of days. Again, late tonight, early Wednesday morning will be the onslaught, the start of what could be a 6 to 8 inch rainfall, the way things are trending right now. Again, timing and track is everything. So you can blame the first round of rain on this cold front. That blue line, slow to get in here now, but will be slow to leave as it will guide, in some ways, Helene up toward the north. But notice by 5 o'clock, where is most of the rain? Maybe middle Tennessee, parts of Kentucky where severe weather might be breaking out. And then we slide into this evening, it might slow down. But once this front comes in, it stalls. You can see it changing from blue to red across Mississippi. So by 7 o'clock Wednesday, it's game on. And so this rain may very well parade in here in stages and in waves, and eventually this storm will get a lot heavier as we head into the Thursday, Friday timeframe, because there goes what looks like a decaying hurricane coming across the area. So we've got a lot of rain in the forecast, and hopefully you can prepare at least mentally of what's going to happen in the next couple of days. It is 6:58. High temperature today about 89. We're near 90. It's hazy, it's humid, and it's a little wet at times this afternoon. Showers and storms that left a 40% chance. Winds out of the southwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Looking ahead to today, 89 for Oak Ridge and Clinton, 89 for Kingston, Rockwood, and Fairfield Glade, about 84. Crossville, 84, 86 for Wartburg, and 88 for Morristown and White Pine. 86 for Nashville, 92 for Chattanooga, should make it in the low 90s for Atlanta if you're traveling further to the south. Tonight we're down to 66, more clouds, showers, and storms. And as you can see for tonight's expectation, the rain will be picking up especially late. So again, showers and storms, especially late tonight, lows around 66 degrees. I got a couple of notes from you. Want to share them with you. Danny says good morning. He says, hope you have a wonderful day. Go Vols. Thank you, Danny, for being on here. And let's see here. Karen's wanting to know, will the Helene wash away the smoke? Most likely. if there's any smoke in your atmosphere, there will be very little smoke. In fact, I posted that picture last night, Karen, on Premium, so you might want to check that out. It shows a lot of it beginning to diminish as we'll see a lot of this scour out, certainly in the atmosphere. It is now 6:59. Time now to get to your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast. We're watching Helene, and there's a purpose of putting a tropical storm icon under the 7-day forecast. That's not hyperbole. That's not reaching or swinging for the fences. That's in line with the Hurricane Center, as they've got this moving right between just south of Macon to Indianapolis, and we're in between. And so we have the potential of getting a lot of rain and a lot of flooding in a short period of time. 76, I modified Wednesday. So we've got 80% Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and pack your patience because the flooding threat will be ongoing. My suspicion, if we even get half of 6 to 8, maybe we only get 3 to 4, it's still going to cause some major headaches and possibly some flooded basements or backyards that some say, I didn't see this coming. I'm trying to tell you, I'm like Paul Revere right now, telling you that the heavy rain's coming. Helene is calling. Hurricane Helene may not be here, but Tropical Storm Helene may have her influence on East Tennessee. And then it dries out Friday afternoon, but it's still windy. And some trees might be stressed. I didn't even get time for fall color, fall foliage, but that will also be taxed when you talk about drought conditions now and then strong winds. There may be very few of the trees that might still be showing beautiful color in the days and weeks ahead. It depends on what Helene does, for sure. Want to check in with your comments. If you have another thought, let me know. Shirley says, thanks, David. Have a safe day. Thank you, Shirley Brock. She's on here. Love having you all here. And then, of course, Marilyn might have caught us late. She said, what about the winds and speed for the storm? I indicated 45 to 50 at a minimum. The way things are tracking. But again, it will be dependent on timing and track, ultimately, from this particular storm. By the way, if you haven't picked up a bottle of the all-new Brownie Batter Milk, it's available for just a limited time. It is delicious. One of the great things about Weigels is they're always thinking outside of the box, or in this case, outside of the bottle. It's just better when it's fresh, farm to store in 24. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. It's just the all-new Brownie Batter Milk. If you like chocolate milk, you owe it to yourself to pick up a bottle of that and make sure you don't miss it because it could be flying off the shelves. Something new might be forming down the road. Maybe a new milk. I think, is it a new milk? Yeah, who knows what the new milk is? But whatever it is down the road, you owe it to yourself to pick up a bottle of the Brownie Batter Milk today. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.